Hello, fuck cape shit. Welcome to another Shittywebcomics Weekly, brought to you by our Subscribe Star backers. Check out our Subscribe Star for all the super duper content and just all the stuff that everyone else will be saying in the next 5 to 10, possibly 100 years. We can't say for sure how ahead of our time we are. We just know that we are way, way, way ahead of our time. So, we want to just go into something simple here and do some simple comics and, in a way, memes
The
also.
simple
But
fact is, some of these comics
yeah,
they're better than anything you'll see.
better than all the rest. Yeah, it's time for good comic. I mean, most of our episodes are about good comics that are delightful and wonderful. But this one is Beetle Moses on Twitter and just say hello to my little friend, and then there's a tiny little happy friend that he pulls out of his pocket, and he's holding. I like how he's holding it with both hands. This is just a good example of how this is how simple and how easy it is to make a nice, happy, fun little comic, just bite-sized thing that you can make, and it's a comic. A lot of people in American comics, in the American comics industry, already don't get they don't get what's happening. They don't get what's going on. Is that a comic can just be 2 panels or even one that's just like goofy little thing that's it's just silly and goofy, and that's all it needs to be. It's just simple. It's simple, straightforward, and you
These
have
are
nailed
more
it.
entertaining and speak to more people
Yes.
than any fucking amount of cape shit, any amount of Captain America.
Captain America. But that's the thing, in a way. The simpler it is, the easier it is to share. That those Jusica comics were a perfect example. We did I don't know, did we do one video or several? I don't even know. But I'm pretty sure we did.
We did one at least.
I know we did an old video about. They may have been before the weeklies, but we did a video about Jusica, and that was a comic that's not even in English, and it's not. It was made in some Eastern European country, and it became a huge meme a couple years ago, and people now still read it again. And that was from like 40, 50, 60 years back. And it just fucking blew back up again because it was so simple that anyone could read it anywhere and enjoy. And like, even if you didn't get it, sometimes you would get some of them. Sometimes it's like, what's happening in this one? It's a little tricky because there's the nature of the newspaper strips is just any idea you come up with, you fucking just fire it out. You might as well draw it, because if you say no to an idea, that's another day of work that you've basically scrapped. So the newest glory day, though, is the modern day, where all of that can be pulled back up and enjoyed, and then new stuff that is in the same vein of just really simple, easy to understand, goofy fucking Scarface. He's all bloodied and shit, has a scar on his face, saying hello to my little friend, and it's a little happy thing. I don't even know what the fuck. It's a little just pink for anyone who can't see. If you're blind or playing video games, it's just a little. He's holding out with both hands, just a little pink, fluffy, happy thing that's tiny, and that's all you
That's
need.
the whole thing. It's you don't even need to know what Scarface is.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. You don't need to know what the thing in his hands is. You don't need to know what Scarface is. You just fucking understand. It's just like a goofy thing. But and again, what we've been saying for years now is that memes and image macros, memes especially in the modern parlance, is another example, another perfect example of something that's just incredibly simple but effective. Like chess tier list, top tier, white, bottom tier, black. It's kind of racist, but it's really about the two sides, of course. There's the white pieces and the black pieces, and just
They're all
being
they're literally the exact same side.
yes, and because I mean, what really matters is which side goes first or not. Even it's fucking how about which one you go with, and fucking it's like with checkers, where it's like black or red, which one's better? I don't know. Again, it's the simplicity is the joke. And then fucking, here's also a pot, a pot and a kettle, and they're both black, and the pot's saying, "I'm calling you black." For I don't know if anyone is not familiar with the phrase "the pot calling the kettle black," which is
I've been told that it's racist.
it's also racist, but really it's about projection and hypocrisy. That's the whole meaning of the phrase "the pot calling the kettle black." But again, that's the simplicity. This is a comic right here. This is a comic. This is a comic. This is a comic. All of these things are comics. They continue to remain comics, and they
There's
always
certainly
will be. It's the nature of comics. That's the perfection of comics. Is the simpler they are, the better they are in a lot of cases.
they're better made than a lot of American cape shit comics. They're
Yeah,
made
that's the
with more
thing.
love and attention.
There's a reason why cape shit is considered the lowest form of comics is because usually the worst people at making comics make cape shit or the American industrial comics, like fucking some of the worst examples actually I would think of is like CSI New York or NCIS, those weird TV show spin-off comic books, or stuff like X-Files season 11 that's clearly not made by anyone involved in the original show, but it's like a fanfic of the X-Files just made by someone, but made to appeal to someone who's like, oh, this is like it's like an official continuation of the show, but clearly it isn't because
Well, a lot of those
for a
shows
lot of
are
reasons.
just, again, it's like what I referred to with regular cape shit comics as being like comic book welfare,
Yeah,
where it's just like any idiot can make it with no effort, and that's all it is.
no talent, no effort, and that yeah, in a
Like,
lot of
no requirement to actually have any creativity or desire to make. It's just like, oh, here's Captain America, here's Spider-Man, he kicked this guy, it's so dope. There, you fucking fill 20 pages with just the most bargain basement dog shit quality.
yeah, a lot of the artists are massively overrated, and there's still some good artists in American comics. But the thing is that these days, most people are seeing that the best art is being made outside of America, and people are being influenced. Nobody's really being influenced by American comics because American comics have been boring, and that's not my opinion. That's the opinion of people like Frank Miller. Frank Miller has been saying that for decades. And the people these days who are like, we're going to save American comics, don't even understand that. They don't understand how people like us and Frank Miller think about comics and even thought about comics in the 80s and 90s. And just imagine how much worse they got now. They weren't even that good back then. There were a lot of good comics in the 80s, but there were more bad comics in the 80s too. And again, having an understanding of all the things, understanding comics, if you will. Just like the Scott Ma Cloud book, has a lot of good, interesting fucking introspection and fucking aspects of considering the medium as an art form, not just see a lot of American fucking the Cape Cucks think that superhero comics are the medium. They don't understand that comics is way bigger than superhero comics. In fact, superhero comics are a corrupt and morally nihilistic and confused medium, and were before the SJWs started to feed off of the corpse. You know, the American comics are dead, and the Jews are just feeding. They're the vultures that are just feeding off the corpse, and
That
now
didn't have to happen. That didn't have to happen at all, ever.
and the Cape Cucks are now feeding off of the fucking. They're picking at the bones after the fucking vultures have already fucking been picking at everything.
The bleached bones.
Yes. Authentic bleached bones is like fucking. Is that considered a delicacy? It is if you're a Cape Cock. Anyways, so yeah, this episode's just gonna be really short. We wanted to just do a little bite-sized thing to add to the schedule. But still, it's overall. This is a point that you don't see many other people in American comics even understanding. And it's part of, when people talk about why manga is better, this is a part of it because, and some of these people are American comic creators. A lot of these people who make memes are just making memes. And these are American, this is the sort of the top tier of American comics in reality, are these goofy ass memes. They're just made for image boards for free for, nothing. People aren't making them to save comics or make comics. If someone's telling you they're trying to save comics, they are selling you a scam. They are lying, and they're most likely real life child molesters, unironically, not an internet insult. They're actually fucking. In fact, some of them, we caught them having suspicious friendships and supporting and financing actual child molesters. It's very strange. It's all very weird. But if you want to know more
We
about
told
that,
people not to do that. We told people, hey, don't do that because it's wrong.
yeah, that's. I
And
mean, I
listen,
think that's. In my not so humble opinion, that's good advice that we gave. People to not do that. Don't be involved with child molesters. Don't promote child molesters, and don't buy comics from child molesters or people who have supported child molesters, such as Comicsgate and Ethan Van Sciver. Who that's not an opinion or like some kind of internet roast, by the way. There's an actual convicted pedophile that was being promoted by Comicsgate and was close personal friends with Ethan Van Sciver and that Umbrella guy and that kind of stuff. If you want to hear more about that, check out our Subscribe Star. We have all the deep dives and all the info. That, and again, all that stuff should be public. We can't make it public because people in Comicsgate have been false flagging our YouTube channels and our accounts and all that stuff for years, and nobody else does anything about it. So maybe if other people actually spoke out and did something about it to, just basically to end Comicsgate and end the people in it, we would be free to tell the truth in public. But until then, the only way to actually find out and also to support us, because we can't get monetized either when we're constantly getting false flagged and deplatformed by these people in Comicsgate. The same way that we were earlier by the SJW.
and again,
So it's the
also,
exact same thing.
again, these people never seem to have a problem with that. They talk like they have a
Yeah,
problem
they
with
talk a big
false
game.
flagging and doxing rings, but when somebody actually does it, they have nothing to say.
Yeah. So, anyways, donate to us on Subscribe Star to get all our extra videos and should have listened to Shitty Webcomics.